This journey, this case, is like a trip across the world on a rickety old car with rickety old wheels. Now I'm going to try and speed things up on this video. I did notice it was a bit sullen on the last video. If you kept your finger on the screen, certainly on my phone, you can speed it up and it goes 1.5 to 2 times quicker. It worked well on that one, but we're going to keep the energy in this one. Now, I want to talk about that journey, all the suspicions and all the hearsays. But some of the hearsays have substance. Some of the suspicions have substance. Maybe just about moves into the realm of evidence. So just relax. Pump up those tires. Let's have a smooth journey. Let's do a service on that vehicle and enter the world of Eldon's reviews and true crime. So, where we're up to now, we saw the latest video, didn't we, yesterday, of Warren Slater. Now, he found a rickety old house, would you call it, shack, when Rachel went in with him. Now, Rachel, she's been getting a hard time, really, and I don't buy it. Everyone coming in on her, really. I haven't done that, and I'm not going to do that because... is it totally 100%? Do you actually know? So the feelings are she's covering up some way for Brad, for his misdemeanors. And she knows everything involved with something happening to Jay in some way. I don't totally buy that. I think she said some things that maybe lead us down the pathway of that. Is it true, Rachel? Perhaps you've said things in a way that maybe is construed. Maybe you don't feel it, but maybe people have construed it in the wrong way. We also have certain things said down the line about certain characters, certain people, like Brandon. He's now Chris is your nephew, or is it Brad is your nephew? Could be crossed straight away, really. I don't know what bearing it has, but it's kind of been kind of a connection of because you're protecting him in some ways, and he's involved in this Rolex, this bar of coke for 30k. I'm not sure of whether the big cheeses would be involved in a bar of 30k and kill somebody over it. If it is, it must be a bit of a bungle. It must be a mistake, because you give someone 2 or 3 slaps and a warning or something and take more off them than the bar is worth. Maybe take 35,000 back, give them a couple of slaps. And rolling back further, people are saying Rocky didn't go to the Airbnb and he was covering for a guy that looked like him. I have a video somewhere. I'll see if I can delve it out. If I don't, he basically looks like Rocky. Rocky looks like him, with the beard, the colouring and everything. And he was covering for this guy who was with Ahab and Jay on that fateful morning. So we're not sure whether the fateful morning is back at the nightclub and Jay didn't go or get to the Airbnb. But there was somebody else that wasn't Rocky, who looked like him. Johnny, is it? Point. We don't know 100% on that one. I'm just putting it there, okay? These are some of the things that are coming up that may be true, it might not be true. But if it's documented, if it does come true later, people do come forward sometimes. They have consciences. They do, honestly, they do. Especially born again Christians, because they've got to tell the truth on everything. that they've done and everything that they're doing is just part of being a born again Christian. Apparently so. We saw the cock up that you made, Ab. I went to get the charger, and Jay's friend was sleeping. I mean, no, Rocky was sleeping, not Jay's friend. Similar to that. I've put it on my other video before. Wasn't exactly those words, but it was a slip up. So we're viewing that as if there was someone else there. We're picturing maybe Brandon was there with this guy who wasn't Rocky, who looked like Rocky. I get confused because I get so much information through. So maybe Brandon was with Jay, but it might have been Brad. And it may have been the night before with LK, who's Jay's lookalike. I believe his name's, is it Liam Kennedy? He's Irish. And the Irish have got something to do with it, and the Irish cartel. But there we go. Some of the hearsays. You can piece that together. You can probably slow it down as well if you want, or watch it again to understand. I don't want to list it all down. I just want to throw it all in the mix. Just want to throw it all in the mix. Turn it all around. We've also got the mayor of Masca, or now, as we hear from Duncan, the mayors of Masca, loads of them. Now 2 or 3 of them are working together and were stating they did something with the CCTV. They didn't release it all, and were saying also, why would you? Because you don't want your town, your area turning into a murder zone or a missing people zone either. Speaking of missing people, we know that it goes on an awful lot. Emma, you, if it's your real name, I'm not sure. Emma, you had a loss of your son, and your son went missing in the same circumstances, similar circumstances, down the same pathway, and he was murdered. This was covered up. Heart goes out to you. We have the 2 elderly, can I call them elderly? Probably a little bit older than me. I'm elderly, but anyway, elderly couple that went missing, and they were found. So she was found, correct me if I'm wrong, you can put in the comments, by the beach, or at the beach near the ravine that Jay was planted. Oh, no, not planted. He fell off, didn't he? Fell off. Right, so she was found minus a leg. No, minus both legs and an arm. So I know what the arm was, or the hand, the arm. Normally that's done because the hands swell up when somebody's deceased. A lot of women leave their rings on, they can't get them off anyway, especially when their hand has swelled, so it's easier. They can't. And also, I did hear both hands were removed, which makes sense, but only because you can't identify the body. But I don't think they'd worry, because they'd be undetectable anyway, wouldn't we, really? And they wouldn't really worry about that, but it's probably a ring or rings worth a lot. And her husband, well, it was a body, another body. There are many bodies found, and a number of bodies go missing each year. Is it 17 or 19? We lose count on that island. Other islands are similar as well. Ibiza keeps popping up. Ibiza, where Jay is now alive. One of the hearsays. And it was a Spanish boy who was planted at the bottom of the ravine. It was his body, because the family weren't allowed to identify Jay's body. And one of the hearsays, it's somebody else. Could be a Spanish boy. I didn't say that, did I? No. Anyway, no, it was Jay. And heart really does, and you know it does, it goes out to the family. And these things that I say, please don't take them to heart. If it does upset you, let me know, family, and And as I say, this was the last video anyway, because the one previous was supposed to be the last video on the matter. So, but I have noticed Warren does have a sense of humour. Is good. You need a sense of humour, even in times of real peril. And he did go into the house. And I thought it was very funny. That outfit, he said, was somebody who lives there, like the Bay City Roller. It was like a foreign outfit next to the Moroccan outfit, or what would you call it, smock or top, whether it's male or female lived there, I don't know. And the symbol. Now the symbol, I put it out there, the symbol, it wasn't totally clear, but that symbol must mean something. Even if, as I thought, which is a bit strange, even you had a 5-year-old there and they wanted to do a picture for daddy. Is it that? But it must be, even if it means something good, something nice. It was like a strange face, and it had some writing. Now, I noticed Warren was reading it out in English, and then he was struggling with some words, like they were foreign. I was thinking Latin, they could be Spanish, Moroccan even, I don't know, but there were some words he was struggling with. And I presume they were English. He might speak Spanish, I don't know, and read in Spanish, but they were English.
What's them signs mean?
And stories written, the what? The selves in love mini. What the fuck's all that about?
The PG tips were a clue for me there. The PG tips. And in my experience, foreign people don't normally have, they're not bothered about English tea. They have their own, they normally use tea for medicine and things. They normally have coffee normally, but this was TPG tips. And the English language. So we're picturing somebody perhaps who stays there or lives in there. Now it might be completely legit. They might need somewhere to stay and it's cheap cost of living. I had loads of bottles of water there. People are saying a little bit suspect, could be. A person from the UK or Ireland, someone, an English speaker, it's been suggested Welsh. Relations-wise, my relations are all over the place. Wrights and the Williams, apparently I'm related to it too, as well as the Newcastle relations and the Irish relations, and a little bit of Spanish and Portuguese as well. But I think we've all got a bit of, not everybody, but we're all a bit of a mixture, aren't we, down the line? Another thing that got me thinking, you lie in bed sometimes, you think, maybe, because you watch it again and you think, the road. Remember that road beside that shack or whatever it was, that house? The police, all the authorities, somebody, the mayor, said there wasn't a road down to near that ravine, but there clearly was. And there's tunnels that go through big enough for vehicles. Vehicles do apparently go down that road. It's certainly wide enough, wasn't it? And you could certainly go down to the shack with the supply of your big bottles of water. They were like industrial bottles, weren't they, that you get on machines? Certainly go down there and keep that hut supplied. I don't know whether it had power. It had a TV there, which intrigued me. So did it have a battery there? Or did somebody bring a battery down from the car? Leisure battery, work with TV? That would be interesting. Cozy. And solar panels, I don't know. Were they there? They could be easily fitted there, couldn't they? Or indeed, was there some sort of electrical supply? I don't know. The ping, that was a big one. So Warren, very, very clever, really. Asking Rachel to ping the phone. So they could match it up on her ping. Even if you went on to is it WhatsApp, and you can do a GPS plant of where you are as well. So they could do both, and then they could compare it with Jay's. where he supposedly pinged his phone or GPS'd it or whatever he did. And then people are saying that because he was on 1%, it was somebody went down there and pretended to be Jay and pinged his phone for him because something is wishy-washy. We know something is wishy-washy because he wouldn't have gone to the Airbnb on a lonely morning up there just to do nothing and then to want to leave. He wouldn't want to leave, even in a drunk mind. You would just chill out, charge your phone up, look at rubbish on your phone, wouldn't you? On YouTube. And you just leave when you got a lift from Ahab, when he'd a few hours kit. But we still need to know who texted Lucy, whether Lucy picked Brandon up in the white car. Her story was wishy-washy. They were all kind of hiding something. Lucy was hiding something, and little Brad, was hiding something as well. We could see that. That was clear. So that was clear. So something happened there. Something somebody was doing. Because we know Mark was hiding something. I don't think he's going to come out and say what it was now, because everybody's been talking about it. And it's just not going to... He doesn't realise that people react and social media reacts to what he says. And he just thought he'd put that one to bed and then quietly mentioned to Debbie what was going on. So I don't think it's going to get out there, really. Some are saying he didn't know anything. It was just a PR stunt. Don't know, because people just go quiet after that, don't they? They just go quiet, and you don't know what's going on. Brandon's been quiet throughout, but then again, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want the limelight of it all, or maybe there was some truth. Now we know there was an altercation, so we know something went on, a little scuffle, because this was CCTV, and we know it was Brandon because you're wearing the same T-shirt, the black one with the white specs on, and you were boxing. You were revving up to locals. It looked like locals. No, it didn't actually, because they looked kind of white-ish. So I don't know. Is that white-ish? Is that racist? I don't know. But anyway, he was revving up and he was on his toes and he was boxing. There was talk of a spar, wasn't there? A friendly spar between him and Ahab, but some people were saying it could have been Rocky, because Rocky was named Rocky because he's an avid, or was an avid boxer, amateur boxer. So all this needs piecing together, doesn't it, really? And it's all crazy roller coaster ride. There is one good thing out of this. We still talk about it. We still think of a 19-year-old who's really, I know he's an adult at 18, but really a child still. They did act a bit immature. I mean, you do act immature when you get involved in those type of things. You're not totally mature, are you, really? Don't mean that in a bad way. But a child losing their life, and he looked pretty genteel, didn't he? He looked like he'd be naughty. He could be a naughty boy, but he didn't look like he'd be vicious or anything else. Not somebody you'd punish in the way that is suggested for doing something, whatever he did or whatever he was doing. So that's why we feel for him. We do feel for many others as well. But it is tragic and it's surreal when it happens to you. And I hope we learn from it in some ways. I don't know whether we can, but we can kind of be more cautious, maybe know more of what's going on when we go out to those places. And our kids go out there, and less about like that. We can kind of try and put a cap on it. And if you did walk off the cliff, we can stop people wandering off into the wilderness and getting stabbed in the leg by a cactus. Remember, we see the CCTV of him limping across the church square on that fateful morning. We don't know fully whether that was him. And we see other CCTV images in that square. Apparently, Brandon on it, Jay there, and they're running away around the skip. There's a video circling around, but I don't. It's a bit grainy, and I'm not sure myself what's going on with it. Will it ever fade? Will it go away? Will the missing mayor turn up, as I was told he would turn up back in Masca, Roman, in Tenerife? Tenerife, what a place. My friend is actually going there. He's going there, and I'll get him to perhaps film some of the places that we don't really want to remember in some ways, do we? But no doubt somebody will rent the Airbnb, probably do a live from the Airbnb. Perhaps it might even be me. I've noticed, now this isn't going to make any sense to a lot of people, so you can ignore it, but try and make it snappy. People in the area, I'm very happy you're keeping protocol, keeping a mile away from the home, or the homes, people. That's good. But yeah, I've been noticing, because they've made themselves known, if they were covert watching me, they'd be covert. You wouldn't see them. But I could see them. But it's just a message to say we're there and keep protocol. I do keep protocol on my end, so you don't need to worry. But it's amusing. I can, yeah. The two guys on the bench, yeah. The three guys outside with the fence today. I was going to go and buy a Costa and offer him a Costa, actually. I could meet in Costa, actually, but I'm playing the game. I've noticed. It's fine. It's cool. I don't need to call my guys out, do I? No, I won't. Don't worry. Anyway, doesn't mean anything. Just ignore that bit. Fantasy stuff, you know. Happens in true crime. It's good people don't know anything about me, really. Don't. It's good. I'm a comedian. That's it. Just go on that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as I do always add, please don't have any nasty dreams. And watch my other videos, and I do have some videos coming up on the missing people, the river, you know what I'm talking about, 2 rivers. But thank you, and please take care.
You get me? That's right. So go to Brad's now.
Yeah.
Brad's map. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is, because he's...
Near as damn.
Yeah. So Jay was literally where...
That house where. And somebody who's wearing that aftershave, is that what we're saying? Yeah? Who needs Columbo when I've got Zach?